Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm Todd Jocko, Toddjocko. Today I'll be speaking to you about two separate homicides that occurred last night. At 11:57 p.m., police responded to a sound of gunshots in the area of Lawrence Avenue West and Allen Road here at the Lawrence Square Plaza. A man in his 20s was located with gunshot wounds. He was transported to hospital by paramedics, but unfortunately he succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced deceased. Shortly thereafter, police responded to a call for a stabbing in the area of St. Clair Avenue West and Jane Street, near a restaurant. An adult male was located there with stab wounds. Life-saving measures were performed at the scene, but unfortunately he was pronounced deceased. The homicide unit has now taken over both of these investigations. While investigators are in the early stages of these investigations, I can confirm that the Toronto Police are canvassing for any witnesses and looking for any video for both of these incidents. We know that the recent violence in Toronto over the last several days, we've had 5 homicides and a few shootings, several shootings. It's deeply concerning, and we understand the community's alarm. Our officers are working around the clock to investigate these situations. You'll notice an increased police presence in these communities, and we will continue to engage with community members to address their concerns. We ask that anyone with information, please contact police. If you see something, say something. Your safety is our top priority, and we are committed to keeping your neighborhoods safe and secure. If you have any information, please contact your local divisions, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 416-222-TIPS. While it's in the very early stages of the investigation, I'll do my best to answer some of your questions.
Do you have any suspect information in either case?
No, in both cases, again, it's so early in this investigation, we don't have any suspect information that we can share at this time.
Okay, I showed up a little late. Do we have an age of the victim from this shooting?
Yeah, the victim from the shooting was in their 20s.
The person in the stabbing victim there would appear that he may have been experiencing homelessness, he may have been a vulnerable man. Are you able to speak to that at all?
No, I don't have any information about that I can share.
And what do you think is the motive in that stabbing case?
Again, it's so early in the investigation, I can't speak to what the motive might be. I can just tell you that we are trying to gather as much evidence as we can. So again, if you saw something, please say something. You're going to see officers canvassing for video. That includes dash cams, any business video, any ring cameras in the area, or any witnesses. We encourage you and we appeal to you to come forward to report that information to us.
Do you have an idea of how many shots were fired here at the scene?
I don't know.
Do you know how many gunshot wounds that you suffered from?
I can tell you the person had multiple gunshot wounds.
There have been several shootings overnight, and there was a murder at Jane and Lawrence yesterday, another shooting death. Any connection between any of the gun violence that we're seeing?
Well, that's certainly being investigated, but I don't have any information that would to connect them at this point. Again, it's still early in the investigations.
So the suspects are still at large in both of these cases that we're talking about today. Is there a threat to public safety? Are they targeted? Anything like that you can tell us?
Now, again, I can't speak to the investigations now whether they're targeted or not, but I can tell you that community safety and the safety of Toronto, gun violence is a top priority for the Toronto Police Service. We're working diligently with our community partners to try to investigate that and to gather as much information as we can. Again, if there's anything that people have, any concerns, please contact your local divisions, or any information you have, please provide it to us or to Crime Stoppers.
So this shooting happened at night when the mall was closed?
Yes, we got the call, and so I have the time accurately, just before midnight at 11:57 p.m.
Do you think, who would have called 911?
I'm not sure.
Do you think people were in the area? Was the victim alone?
It's difficult to say. I don't have that information at this time.
So far, are you finding that there is surveillance footage you're able to use for the investigation, or is that proving to be?
We are our homicide unit, and the officers are assisting homicide canvassing. They're trying to obtain any video that they can get. And again, I encourage anyone with dash cams, businesses in the area, or ring cameras to please provide that information to the Toronto Police.
And you touched on this. The violence in the last couple of days, especially overnight, is quite alarming. I talked to a number of residents who normally say they wouldn't necessarily feel unsafe, but now they do. I mean, you spoke to that. Can you expand on that?
Again, we can certainly understand the community's concern. And as I mentioned a moment ago, addressing gun violence is a top priority for the Toronto Police. We are working with our with the other stakeholders, community members, faith leaders, community leaders, to try to address these concerns for the community. And again, if anyone has any concerns, please contact their local divisions. You are going to see an increased police presence in the area, and we're doing all we can to address this situation and the violence that's occurring recently.
And sorry, any word yet on whether each incident was targeted or not?
Again, that's something will be investigated, but there's no indication that that is the case now. Again, it's too early in the investigation to provide those kind of details.
One more question.
I don't have that information, sir. Thank you, everyone.